The Brickyard's history has been signposted by desperate duels, which excited the juices of spectators and drivers, even the losing drivers. The dramatic 1912 finish with Ralph De Palma pushing his car across the finish line was just the first spectacular finish. In 1937, the 25th anniversary of the Indy 500, race leader Wilbur Shaw noticed his oil gauge near zero. There were 20 laps to go, and it was against the rules to add oil, but he had a 114-second lead. Doing quick mental calculations, Shaw figured he could slow about 6 seconds per lap and still win the race. The crowd noticed Ralph Hepburn's car creeping up on Shaw. With only 10 laps to go, Hepburn was within sight of Shaw on the back straightaway. The last lap, they were wheel to wheel, and the crowd screamed itself hoarse. As they zoomed toward the final turn, Shaw went for broke, floored the big Offenhauser, and took the checkered flag only 2 seconds ahead of Hepburn. It was the closest race until 1982. In 1967, Andy Granatelli bought a turbine-powered car to the Speedway. A.J. Foyt commented that that's not a race car, it's a damn airplane. The car whined ahead of the pack like a quiet zephyr, but with 8 miles to go, it blew a $6 ball bearing, and Foyt was left to fly his car ahead to the finish. On the last turn, though, he almost crashed into the pack.
I had a funny feeling. I don't know why. I was up with that group of cars, and I said, look, there's nobody close to me. I think I had a lap on the field. I just backed off. It's just like I knew something was going to happen. And because there was a group of cars I went behind. I come off before, I could not believe. Cars spinning every which way. I said, here, I've got to get to that start-finish line. I'll never forget I made a couple zigzags, and I lost them in the smoke, and that, I knew I went between cars. I dropped it to second gear, and I said, whoever I hit, I'm going to hit them hard enough that I drive them past the finish line. I did have that in my mind.
In 1982, Gordon Johncock and Rick Mears battled to the closest finish in history. Only 16/100ths of a second separated winner Johncock from challenger Mears. In 1985, Danny Sullivan spun his car and was still able to win. The incident triggered a great piece of driving by Mario Andretti, who was able to avoid Sullivan and eventually finished second in the race. Like it or not, auto racing is about speed and winning, plus the vicarious thrill spectators get by identifying with winners.